welcome to Seen Through Glass. Welcome to a very pink Porsche 911 Carrera T. A few things to get out of the way before I start today's video for real. Firstly, this is not my car. Whilst it looks relatively similar, you'll notice it has back seats and a pink livery. This is Porsche Singapore's very own Carrera T, which they have wrapped in this iconic motorsport livery to celebrate the Chinese New Year, because in this part of the world it's the Lunar New Year and this year is the year of the pig, hence the pink pig livery. So as a second point, this is not been inspired by Tony from Gravelwood's GT3 RS. Let's not forget, Tony's car was a sort of homage or inspired by the 911 RSR, which Porsche raced at Le Mans last year. GT3 991.2. That was lovely, yellow. Not sure if the GoPro would have picked that up. But yes, so Tony's car was inspired by the 911 RSR, which was again paying homage to the old Le Mans historic pink pig race car. So those things cleared up. It's not Tony's car and it's not my car. This is Porsche Singapore's Carrera T, which they lent me yesterday so I could explore Singapore properly, because I love this city and I've been here quite a few times, but only ever as a sort of layover or stopover as I travelled on to Bali or other parts of Asia, or even earlier this year to Australia. So whenever I've been here, it's usually at night and I'm usually super jet lagged. So considering this is the first time I've spent really more than 6 to 12 hours here, I wanted to get out and really explore. So Porsche even gave me a local tour guide and this car, so I could get around and just learn more about this city and what an incredible place it is. The architecture here is nuts. I'm not really into architecture, but you just can't help but be amazed by some of the buildings. I mean, they've just got these huge skyscrapers that have sort of gardens, you know, right in the middle, and some of them are on stilts and they just seem to go on forever, and it's unreal. If you are ever flying through Singapore, try and give yourself a little bit of time to get out and explore the city, because I tell you what, you will not be disappointed. But one thing which I learned and discovered yesterday is that cars here are ridiculously expensive. As in, I think there's a potential that they're the most expensive cars in the world, because there's a huge tax on all cars, but especially luxury cars. And in front of me I've got a 993 Carrera, a yellow 993 Carrera. What's going on with the Porsche gang this morning? Apologies for any of you that are sick and tired of Porsche content. I know lots of you out there are, but I don't care. Like, the Porsche community have been amazing since I started Drive the World. They have just opened their arms and welcomed me like one of their own, and everywhere I go they just want to look after me and help me out, and that's brilliant, so I'm going to accept it. But yeah, nice 993 Carrera just there. But anyway, car prices. So this car, which is a relatively similar spec to mine, a few added options. We've got the rear seats back in. These are the 18-way comfort seats, so these are super intense. Apart from that, is there anything else? Still no sunroof. It's a PDK. So yeah, relatively similar to my car. My car in the UK, £90,000. This car, wait for it, the equivalent of £307,000. £307,000 for a PDK Carrera T. I'm not overreacting, that is a joke. This car in Singapore, 540,000 Singaporean dollars, and that is before you road register it. There's another, I think it was £19,000 that you have to add on to that price to get it road registered. So effectively, this is nearly £350,000 for a Carrera T. What is this place? And to think, over the last few days, I've seen Aston Martin DBS Superleggers, 458 Italias all over the place, Lamborghinis. I mean, heck, the day I arrived, a Pagani Huayra went to a car meet like 10 minutes down the road from me. I wasn't there, it was a bit of a fail. But what would the cost of that been? If this is £300,000, who's buying a Pagani in Singapore? And I've learned that, as a generalization, Singaporeans are relatively materialistic. Well, I think it might be an Asian culture thing as well. And I said that is a very big generalization and maybe even a bit of a stereotype. But in a city or an island or a country where space is limited, you can't go and have the big house, you kind of got to spend your money elsewhere. And it seems to be that cars is one of the places that people are spending the money. Now, can I go? I think I can. I'm not that great at driving around Singapore yet. There's just, these roads are so wide, and Singaporean drivers are a bit mean. They don't let you, if you're in the wrong lane, you are stuck. You are not chopping and changing. But anyway, it's not just supercars. More amazingly, I think, than this Carrera T being nearly £350,000, is a Macan S. So, I went on the used website the other day, sort of the equivalent of Auto Trader here in Singapore, and to buy a 50,000 kilometre Porsche Macan S, so not the new shape, the old shape with 50,000 kilometres on it, would cost you the equivalent of £130,000. £130,000 for a used Macan S. What is this place? Anyway, we are headed right now to drop this car back, and I've just seen a 599 the other side of the bush. Oh my God, it's just mental here. This is what, I mean, God, how much would that have cost? Like 18 million? Who knows? Considering the prices, the amount of incredible cars I've seen driving around, it's similar to Monaco or London. There's supercars everywhere. But yeah, I'm driving right now to the Porsche dealership to hand this car back. Whilst I filmed a lot of sort of B-roll yesterday, it was mainly a photographic day because I know lots of you are fed up of the Porsche content and, you know, the Carrera T. I mean, I filmed it for the whole of Australia, and trust me, there are plenty more videos to come with that car. So I try to keep the content light. But when I get back there, I'm going to try and be a little bit sneaky and see if I can just film around the showroom, or maybe some other showrooms, because I think there's Ferrari next door, and whilst they really don't like filming in their dealerships, I'm going to give it a go. And I think there's even a Bugatti dealership here in Singapore. A Bugatti, I mean, a Chiron must literally cost 25 million Singaporean dollars here, and equivalent of 10 million pounds. So yeah, it's going to be a sneaky, covert filming operation. Maybe all done on my iPhone, I don't know. None of the dealerships open for another 4 minutes, so might be a bit of hanging around. But yes, let's go and see if we can prove that Singapore has the most expensive cars in the world. So there was actually an event taking place at Porsche today, so all the cars were out of the showroom. They just had sort of tables and chairs set up. So my covert operation continues in some other dealerships, because I've discovered that, oh, there's a new Vantage. Lovely. I've discovered that this is the sort of car shopping street of Singapore. There are endless dealerships here, so let's see which ones we can sneak into. Sneaky filming inside Ferrari achieved. I feel like that was my main mission. So, I don't know if you saw that price, but a GTC 4 Lusso, I'm under a railway track, sorry, a bit noisy. 1.3 million Singaporean dollars, the equivalent of over £700,000 for a GTC 4 Lusso. I mean, why are we not all just exporting cars from the UK to here? Maybe I'll sell my Carrera T and then go back and buy a TDF. Very nice spec on this F-Pace. It's probably about £500,000, but it looks lovely. Right next to a stunning new Vantage in silver with red details. That's one of the best specs I think I've seen on the new Vantage. Super clean, super simple. But yeah, I've made my way over to Aston Martin, Bentley and Land Rover. 425,000 Singaporean dollars. That's the equivalent of, what, £250,000 maybe? For a V6 F-Type. I mean, I would love to know how people are buying cars here, because as you guys know, I use Magnitude Finance for all of my cars, and financing's super popular in the UK. But there we're buying cars for what? 100, 150, 200, 250,000 pounds, what we're talking about, sports cars and supercars. Here, a Lusso, the equivalent of £700,000. How would you even begin financing something like that? The depreciation must be horrific. Horrific! So yeah, maybe I need to speak to Magnitude, see if they have any plans to branch out into Singapore and help these poor people trying to buy lovely cars here. But anyway, I hope I've given you some kind of insight into the madness that is car purchasing or car pricing in this part of the world. It's a bit hot now, so I need to go back inside, or at least go and find some sun cream. Give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video, and make sure you subscribe for plenty more videos to come.